There's something really interesting happening in the American workplace right now. It's this quiet but pretty radical trend, and it has absolutely nothing to do with climbing the corporate ladder. Actually, it's about getting off of it completely.
Yeah, right now, as we speak, in offices and from kitchen tables all across the country, millions of people are making a decision that honestly would have seemed crazy just a decade ago. It's like this silent revolution, and it's happening one resignation letter at a time.
But here's the twist. This isn't your classic show me the money situation. People aren't just demanding a bigger paycheck or better perks. No, this goes way, way deeper than that.
That's right, they're just leaving. Not because they have a better offer lined up, but because they just need to stop. They are walking away entirely, and it's making all of us ask a pretty uncomfortable question. Why has the price of having a career, the mental, the emotional, the physical toll, suddenly become a debt that millions of people just aren't willing to pay anymore? Let's get into it.
So what we're really seeing isn't just a spike in people quitting their jobs. It's bigger than that. It's a huge cultural shift, what you might call the Great Walkaway.
I mean, think about it. For generations, we glorified the hustle, right? Working crazy long hours, being under all this pressure, that was seen as a badge of honor. It meant you were dedicated. But now, that badge just feels heavy. It's turned into a burden.
And let's be super clear. This isn't about rage quitting in a blaze of glory. It's a very deliberate, conscious choice. It's a movement of people trying to reclaim their lives from just being completely and utterly exhausted all the time. This collective exhaustion, it has a name, and it pretty much perfectly describes our current reality. Burnout Nation. But what does that actually mean?
So, burnout isn't just feeling tired after a long week. It's a much more serious state of emotional and physical exhaustion from long-term stress. It's that feeling when your job is consistently taking way more out of you than it could ever possibly put back in.
And the consequences of that? They're devastating. We're talking about a serious hit to your mental health. Your relationships with family and friends start to fray. Your physical health can actually get worse. It's this slow-motion crumbling of your overall life satisfaction. That's the real cost of all this unchecked pressure.
So how on earth did we get here? What are the specific things pushing so many people to their absolute breaking point?
Well, it's really a perfect storm of factors. You've got endless stress that never lets up. The boundaries between work and your actual life have been totally erased. Then there's this expectation to always be on, always be productive, while also feeling completely invisible and unsupported. And underneath all of that is this growing belief, this little voice saying, hey, life has got to be more than just feeling this tired.
And reaching that breaking point is leading to something genuinely revolutionary, a massive shift in how we're defining success and what we even value in our lives.
Look at this contrast. The old identity was all wrapped up in job titles, and yeah, burnout was just part of the deal. But the new priority, it's about having time. It's about finding balance. It's about the value of rest. People are basically trading in that relentless pressure for a little bit of peace.
When you boil it all down, it comes to this. People are making the radical choice to prioritize their own well-being over getting a pat on the back from a corporation. They're choosing themselves.
This entire movement, it forces us all to take a step back and really think about the nature of work itself. And that leads us to one last really powerful thought.
This quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. The problem isn't working hard. People are totally willing to work hard. The problem is meaningless work. Work that just drains you without giving you any sense of purpose. That is the real source of this whole epidemic.
And that just leaves us with this one big, provocative question to think about. Somewhere down the line, we all kind of accepted this story that suffering was required for success. Why? This whole movement is a massive rejection of that idea, and it's a challenge to every single one of us to rethink our relationship with work.
So if this got you thinking, if it made you question the way we all work, do me a favor and hit that like button. It's a great way to show that these are conversations worth having.
And I'd love to know what you think. Drop a comment below and tell us. If you were facing real burnout, could you make that choice to just walk away?
And finally, if you want more explainers that dig into the huge shifts happening in our world, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching.